At exactly 9 p.m. in Shibuya, 10 people vanished mid-step. No screams, no blood. The crowd didn't even notice. My name is Wemison Salomon. They call me the man who drags rain through dry nights, the traveler cursed to chase moments time refuses to kill. Tonight, Shibuya pulses like a heart beating too fast, neon bleeding pink and electric blue across asphalt that never dries for anyone else. The scramble crossing roars. Thousands of footsteps merge into one living wave. Japanese, English, laughter, arguments, all swallowed by giant screens selling dreams no one can afford. But beneath it all, something older stirs. A metallic tick-tock, not from a clock, but from the old surveillance cameras clinging to poles and buildings, installed decades ago, forgotten, rust creeping into their frames. Tsukumogami, objects that live too long wake up angry. These cameras have watched millions cross this street, lives erased by routine, salarymen, runaways, the unseen. Now the cameras want more than footage. I stand at the curb. My red coat hangs heavy with rain that only falls on me. A silver cross swings against my chest like a countdown. The book in my gloved hand warms, kanji flickering faintly like dying embers. I smell it, old iron, burnt ozone. At 9 p.m. exactly, the signal changes, the crowd surges, 10 silhouettes dissolve mid-stride. No stumble, no echo, just absence, space the living flow around as if nothing was ever there. My pocket watch freezes, 9:00:03, always those 3 cursed seconds. A taiko drum beats once, distant and wrong, a festival no one invited. One camera tilts, its lens reflects my white hair. It's watching me, and something inside it smiles. I've stood here before, not this night, not this loop, but my bones remember. Time is a cruel lender. It gives moments and collects memories as interest. Tonight, the debt feels personal. I drift through the crowd like smoke. Faces blur, a girl laughing into her phone, a salaryman staring through people, an old man no one waits for, invisible lives, perfect fuel. A cold whisper brushes my ear. Why didn't anyone see me cross? It's not one voice, it's 10. Yurei, echoes of the vanished, trapped between seconds. I look up, the camera's pulse red, synchronized with the pedestrian signal, not separate anymore, connected, waking together. Something is forming, a guardian, not a single yokai, but a collective consciousness, old surveillance technology fused with resentment, wearing the cunning of Nurari Hyun, the yokai who slips into homes uninvited, drinks the tea, smokes the pipe, and leaves without anyone remembering he was ever there. This version doesn't want comfort, it wants erasure. My book trembles, a page turns itself. When the forgotten march, the parade begins. I whisper into the neon, not while I'm breathing. A camera lens zooms. For a split second, every phone screen around me reflects the same image, me, older, hollow-eyed, already walking in step with something behind the crowd. The illusion fades, but the doubt stays. I follow one shadow that shouldn't be gone, a salaryman, cheap suit, loose tie, briefcase dragging like a weight he can't drop. He steps onto the crossing at 8:59 p.m. At 9, he's gone. I catch the afterimage, flickering like bad reception, and chase it into a narrow alley behind the Hachiko statue. He's there, slumped, eyes wide but empty, reset. He blinks. I crossed, didn't I? Mist rises from his skin, pale, cold. The city erased him long before the loop did. Who took you? I asked. He laughs softly, broken. The eyes, they see everything and remember nothing. A camera swivels on the alley wall, its iris tightens. A voice slides through the air, smooth and oily. You intrude, traveler. This parade has no place for those who remember. I slam the book open, kanji ignite, the mist recoils. The man gasps and stumbles away, alive for now. The camera stays, red light, unblinking. The signal beeps, green, the wave surges. I step into the center, arms wide. Not today. 10 vanish right through me. The air thickens, time stutters. Reset. I awake on the opposite curb, 8:58 p.m. My heart hammers, the book burns against my palm. The taiko begins for real now, deep, primal. The Hayaki Yagyo awakens, not lanterns and masks, souls digitized, looped, deleted. The Guardian manifests, tall, gourd-headed, robes of flickering neon and shadow. It doesn't attack, it watches. You walk the parade, Wemison, it murmurs from every speaker. Join us or fade. I've faded before, it didn't stick. Every camera turns toward me. The parade has noticed its guest. But this is no ordinary yokai. Behind the Guardian's form, I sense something deeper, something that doesn't belong to this world or this time. The cameras are merely vessels, conduits of an intelligence that spans dimensions. The Sempiterno. The Eternal One. The entity that exists in every moment simultaneously, feeding on temporal paradoxes, growing stronger with each loop, each reset, each soul trapped outside of time. I've hunted fragments of it across 3 continents. In Prague, it wore the face of an astronomical clock that 8 minutes. In Cairo, it manifested as a sandstorm that aged men to dust in seconds. In New Orleans, it was the jazz that played in empty clubs, music from nights that never happened. But here in Shibuya, it's found the perfect hunting ground, a city that never sleeps, a crossing where thousands of lives intersect every hour, an endless buffet of temporal energy. The Guardian tilts its gourd head. You understand now, don't you, traveler? I am not the disease. I am merely the symptom. My fingers trace symbols in the Aeternitas Arcana, the Book of Eternal Hours, ancient seals designed to bind entities that exist outside causality. But the pages are warm, almost feverish. The book itself is afraid. How long has it been feeding here? I demand. Feeding? The Guardian's laughter echoes from a dozen speakers. No, Wemison Salomon, it has been building. Each loop is a brick, each stolen soul is mortar. It is constructing a temple, and when the temple is complete, the Sempiterno will step through fully, not as fragments, not as echoes, but whole. The implications crash over me like ice water. If the Sempiterno manifests completely in this reality, it won't just control time, it will become time. Every moment, past and future, will belong to it. Free will becomes impossible when every choice has already been observed, cataloged, and consumed. I've stopped 3 partial manifestations. I've never faced a complete one. I don't know if it's even possible to survive that. The loops grind on. Each reset leaves less of me. I stumble into a narrow alley off Dogenzaka, one that wasn't there 3 loops ago. The air thickens with dust and old paper. A small shop materializes, faded kanji on a crooked sign. Antiquarian of the Forgotten. The door hangs half open. Light flickers like a dying bulb. Inside, shelves bow under the weight of broken clocks, vintage cameras, warped film reels. Every object breathes. Tsukumogami, all watching. A figure waits behind the counter, hood drawn low, face swallowed by shadow. The scent of foxfire lingers. Kitsune, deception wrapped in politeness. "You're late, traveler," it says softly. "The parade has been waiting." I lean against the counter, the book heavy in my hands. "Tell me how to stop it." A quiet chuckle. "The Guardian is not one yokai. It is Shibuya's forgotten gaze given flesh. Norarihion of wires and crowds. It slips into every mass of people, drinks every ignored life, and builds an eternal hyakiyagyo. But you know this already. You know what it serves." "The semperterno," I say. "Yes, the thing that should not be, the consciousness that exists in the spaces between ticks of a clock. It has been whispering to the forgotten things of this city for decades. The cameras, the lost umbrellas, the coins dropped through subway grates, every object abandoned and ignored. It promised them purpose, revenge, existence." I glance at a cracked mirror. My reflection blinks slower than I do. "The ritual isn't destruction, it is gestation. The Guardian is preparing a womb of stolen time. When enough souls have been harvested, when the loop has repeated enough cycles, the semperterno will be born into this reality, fully incarnate, no longer scattered across dimensions." "The cost?" I ask. "To break the parade, you must become its final marcher, offer your time, all of it. But even that may not be enough. The semperterno has roots in other cities now, other crossings, other forgotten places. Destroy it here, and it will simply grow elsewhere." The shot begins to fade. The kitsune leans close. "Choose quickly, Wemison. The cameras are already filming your ending." I step back into the street. The scramble waits, and the taiko drums beat faster. The resets accelerate. Minutes bleed into seconds. I no longer know how many loops I've survived. 10, 50. The book grows heavier. Pages stick together with something dark and dry. Memories fracture. A woman's face, gone. The smell of rain in a city I can't name, gone. Even my name feels borrowed. Wemison Salomon. Is that who I am, or who the parade wants me to forget? I sit on the curb, coat soaked. A yurei passes through me, cold, accusing. "You see us now, but you'll forget too." Above, screens flicker. The Guardian's silhouette stretches across buildings. Norarihion's face smiles, gentle, almost paternal. "You were always invisible, a ghost in red. No home, no past, just endless walking. The semperterno showed me your truth, traveler. You are already one of the forgotten. You simply refuse to accept it." The illusion strikes. For a moment, the crowd parts, and I see myself reflected in every window, transparent, fading, already marching. I slam the cross against my chest. Pain anchors me. I'm still here. But doubt roots deep. A nearby camera pulses red, almost tenderly. "Surrender," the Guardian whispers. "The semperterno offers peace, an end to your wandering, a place in the eternal moment where nothing changes and nothing hurts." Rain falls only on me. The ritual accelerates. At 9 p.m., not 10 vanish, 100. The scramble empties in a single breath. Phones drop, bags fall. No screams, just absence. News screens glitch. Mass disappearance in Shibuya. Then reset. No one remembers. The city keeps moving, blind. I stand alone at the center. The Guardian manifests fully, towering, robes woven from faces of the vanished, gored head tilted in mock admiration. Beautiful, isn't it? One more cycle and the void will be born. A world without excess, without noise, without you. The sempiterno will reshape reality in its image. Time without progression, existence without change, perfect, eternal, dead. I open the book. Seals burn white hot. I hurl one. Light detonates. Its form fractures. It laughs. Pain is temporary. Oblivion is kind. Yurei rise, hundreds marching in silent circles. The hyakiyagyo is complete. The taiko roars like thunder. The parade reaches for its final member. But I see it now. The threads connecting the guardian to something beyond. Invisible filaments of temporal energy flowing up and away, feeding into a vast web that spans the sky. The sempiterno isn't here, not yet. It's still distributed across multiple realities, multiple timelines. The guardian is just an anchor point, a beacon calling it home. If I can sever the connection, I might buy time, not victory, just time. The Aeternitas Arcana burns in my hands. I flip to a seal I've never dared use, the Temporal Severance. It doesn't destroy, it cuts, separates a moment from the flow of time entirely, creates an island of causality, adrift in the void. The cost is everything I remember, every moment that made me who I am. I'll survive, but I won't know why. I hesitate. The Guardian senses it. You cannot win, Wemison Salomon. The sempiterno is inevitable. It is already woven into the fabric of this reality. Killing me only delays the harvest. Delay is enough, I whisper. I press my palm to the seal. The world shatters into light. When I open my eyes, I'm standing in Prague. The astronomical clock looms above me, its face twisted into a scream. Time has bled here, too. People walk in reverse. Conversations play backwards. The sky pulses with colors that don't exist. I don't remember how I got here. I don't remember Shibuya. But my coat is still wet with rain that isn't falling. My book is warm, and something in my chest tells me I'm hunting. The clock strikes 13. Impossible. It only goes to 12. The 13th chime reverberates through my bones. Figures emerge from the clock face, not human, not quite. Temporal ghosts. People who died out of sequence, their deaths happening before their births, causality vomiting them back up. A woman approaches, old-fashioned dress, 1890s maybe. Her eyes are hollow voids. "Are you the one who cuts time?" she asks, in Czech that I somehow understand. "I don't know what I am," I answer honestly. The sempiterno remembers you. It tastes your fear across dimensions. You severed one of its fingers in the city of lights and crowds. Now it grows the wound back stronger. Prague is another anchor, another feeding ground. The astronomical clock has been devouring moments for centuries. Tourists taking photos they'll never develop. Lovers making promises they'll never keep. All those wasted moments, all that discarded time, flowing into the sempiterno's vast appetite. I raise the book. Seals activate. The temporal ghosts hiss and scatter. But there are too many, and behind them something larger stirs, a presence that makes the guardian of Shibuya feel like a child's toy. The sempiterno is learning, adapting. It knows I'm coming for its anchors, and it's preparing a welcome. Cairo burns under a sun that sets in the north. The sandstorm that shouldn't exist tears through the city. Inside it, I see faces, pharaohs, slaves, merchants, conquerors. Every person who ever walked these streets, their temporal echoes trapped and compressed. The Sphinx watches with knowing eyes. I'm forgetting more with each jump. names, places, why I started this hunt. But the Eternitas Arcana guides me. It knows even when I don't. In Cairo, the Sempiterno manifests as a river. The Nile runs backwards, fish swim through air, boats sail on sand, reality inverted. I meet a priest of the old ways. He tells me the entity has been here since the pyramids were young, that the ancient architects knew it, tried to bind it with mathematics and stone, failed. You cannot kill what was never born, he says. The Sempiterno existed before existence. It will outlast entropy. I'll wound it enough that it sleeps, I reply. I carve seals onto the sand. The storm screams. Time bleeds. For a moment, I see through the veil, see the Sempiterno in its totality. Not a creature, not even a god, a law of nature that became conscious, the principle of duration given hunger and will. My mind can't hold the vision. I collapse, bleeding from my eyes. When I wake, Cairo is normal. The storm is gone, the anchor severed. But I've lost my mother's name, the sound of her voice, the shape of her smile. The Sempiterno is making me pay in pieces. New Orleans thrums with music from empty clubs. Jazz plays in buildings that burned down 50 years ago. Dancers move through walls. Mardi Gras beads hang suspended in midair, thrown by hands that are dust. Here, the Sempiterno wears joy as a mask. It learned that pain and fear aren't the only ways to trap souls. Nostalgia works just as well, better even. People willingly drown in memories of better days. I find the anchor in a speakeasy that exists in 3 time periods simultaneously. The 1920s, the 1960s, the 2020s, all layered on top of each other like transparent film. A trumpet player sees me. His eyes are knowing. You the doctor or the disease? He asks. Neither, just a janitor. He laughs. Cleaning up time's messes. Hell of a job. He plays me a song, notes that shouldn't fit together, harmony from the future, melody from the past, rhythm from the never was. For 3 minutes and 47 seconds, I remember everything. Who I was, who I loved, why I can't stop. Then the song ends, and it's gone again. I destroy the anchor. The speakeasy folds into itself. The trumpet player salutes as he fades. Give it hell, janitor. London, Moscow, Tokyo, Singapore. One by one, I sever the connections. Each anchor destroyed buys humanity a little more time. Each severance costs me a little more self. I forget my father's profession, the name of my first love, the reason I wear red. But I keep hunting, because someone has to. In Singapore, I meet another traveler, a woman with a sword of frozen lightning. She's hunting the same prey from a different angle. You're erasing yourself, she observes. Small price. Is it? When you're done, will there be enough left to know you won? I don't have an answer. She fights beside me anyway. We destroy the anchor together, a garden that grew in reverse, flowers blooming into seeds, trees shrinking into saplings. Before she leaves, she tells me there's a final anchor, older than the others, stronger, in a place between places. The Sempiterno is pouring everything into it. If you're going to make a stand, make it there. Where? You'll know when you forget everything else. I stand in a place that has no name, a crossing that exists in negative space, the gaps between seconds, the void between heartbeats. This is where the Sempiterno is oldest, where it first learned to reach into reality. The guardian waits. Not the one from Shibuya, the original, the first fragment that became aware. It's massive, a thing of pure temporal energy, wearing the shape of every clock ever built. Gears and springs and pendulums, forming a body that hurts to perceive. "You've come so far," it says in a voice like continents grinding. "Destroyed so much, lost so much. Do you even remember why you started?" I check the book. The pages are blank. No, not blank, written in a language I used to know. My own handwriting, instructions to myself. "I remember enough," I lie. "The sempiterno is grateful. You've pruned its weak anchors, made it stronger, more focused. Soon it will manifest completely, not scattered across dimensions, whole, singular, eternal." Ice floods my veins. I helped it? Every anchor you destroyed forced it to consolidate, to concentrate its power. You've been a faithful gardener, Wemison Salomon, trimming the diseased branches so the tree could grow true. The book pulses. One page catches fire, burns away everything except a single symbol, the final seal. Not severance, not binding, sacrifice. I understand now. The only way to stop the sempiterno is to give it what it wants, a complete existence, but not in this reality, in me. I can become the vessel, the anchor, the prison, draw all its power into my temporal signature, and then cut myself loose from causality entirely, become an island of isolated time, drifting in the void, forever. The sempiterno will be trapped, whole but contained, unable to touch reality, and I'll be conscious for every second of eternity, alone with a God that feeds on time. "There has to be another way," I whisper. The book burns hotter. No other symbols appear. The guardian spreads its arms. Behind it, reality tears. The sempiterno's true form begins to push through, an infinitely complex structure of paradoxes and loops, beautiful, terrible, inevitable. "Choose," the guardian says. "Sacrifice yourself and save one reality, or step aside and let the sempiterno reshape all realities into perfection, time without pain, existence without loss, everyone frozen in their happiest moment forever." I think of Shibuya, the salaryman who just wanted to cross the street, the girl laughing into her phone, the old man no one waited for. Invisible lives, but lives nonetheless. I press my palm to the final seal. I choose the mass. Light erupts from the book, from my chest, from the silver cross that's been counting down since the beginning. The sempiterno screams, not in pain, in surprise. Someone is resisting. I open myself. Every temporal wound I've suffered, every reset I've endured, every loop I've broken, they become channels, pathways for the sempiterno to flow into me. It comes like a flood, eons of consciousness, infinite perspectives, every moment happening at once. I am the first tick of the first clock. I am the heat death of the last universe. I am every second between. The weight should crush me. Instead, I expand, my awareness stretching across dimensions. I see my mother's smile, my father's pride, the first love I lost, the reason I wear red. A girl died. I couldn't save her. The rain fell only on me that night, too. I became a hunter to make sure no one else would vanish unnoticed. The memories flood back as the sempiterno pours in. It's trying to drown me in infinity. Instead, infinity is reminding me who I am. Wemison Salomon, the man who drags rain through dry nights, the traveler who refuses to let time claim the invisible. I close my fist around the sempiterno's essence, and I cut the thread. Reality snaps. I'm falling through the void. The sempiterno writhes inside me, a galaxy of consciousness trapped in a mortal shell. It rages, threatens, bargains. I ignore it all. The Aeternatas Arcana is ash in my hands. The seals completed their purpose. Now there's just me, an isolated bubble of causality, a moment that has no before or after. I can feel the anchors, Shibuya, Prague, Cairo, all the feeding grounds. Without the sempiterno's influence, they're healing, time flowing naturally again, lives resuming their proper shapes. But I'm outside it all now, watching from a distance that can't be measured. The sempiterno speaks in my mind. You've doomed yourself to eternity with me. Your consciousness will fracture. You'll go mad within a century. Within a millennium, you'll beg me to consume you. Maybe, I say, but a millennium is a long time. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a way out, or maybe I'll just annoy you for eons. Why, it asks, genuinely confused. Why sacrifice infinity for a few mayflies? They'll never know what you saved them from. I think of the salaryman, the girl, the old man. They don't need to know. They just need to live. The void settles into a strange rhythm, not quite time, not quite stasis, a third state, a prison we share. The sempiterno's presence is vast, ancient, incomprehensible, but I've got my rain, my coat, my cross, and eternity to figure out the next move. Somewhere in Shibuya, the crossing flows normally, the signal changes, the crowd surges, 10 people cross safely, no one vanishes, no cameras watch with malice. A girl laughs into her phone, a salaryman loosens his tie, an old man finds someone waiting. They don't notice the rain that falls only in a place beyond places, on a man who chose the mess over the perfection, the chaos over the eternal silence. I settle into my vigil. The sempiterno pulses like a second heartbeat. This isn't over, it promises. It never is, I agree. And in the space between seconds, in the void between heartbeats, the hunt continues, just on a different scale, forever.
Thank you for writing. If you enjoy the story, subscribe. Moricone a Carmen.